7.
All right, cool. Let's do this countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2.
There's a place where everyone can be happy. It's the most beautiful place in the whole fucking world. It's made of candy canes and planes and bright red choo-choo trains and the meanest little boys, most innocent little girls. And you know, I wish that I could go there. It's a road that I have not found. And I wish you the best of luck, dear. Drop a card or letter to my side of town, 'cause there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. How long will I keep singing for? I hope you guys are all wondering out there. Hello. Possibly forever, or until I don't know the lyrics of what I am singing. Welcome to episode 7 of the Mostly Sorry podcast. I am here, as always, Joel Berg, Joel Jimenez, Mostly Sorry, a.k.a. Bottle Rocket Ass Boy, I believe is the newest one. I really love it. Bottle Rocket Butt Boy is actually sounds better. Bottle BRB. Be right back. Bottle Rocket Butt BRBB. Be right back, baby. Here I am. I'm here with my co-host, producer / friend. Most importantly, David Deary. David, how are you today?
I'm great, man. I'm the Bottle Rocket Butt Boy lighter, I guess. Someone's got to light that bottle rocket.
Honestly,
That's me.
I'd probably light my own bottle. I'd want full control of the whole situation. I don't know if I'd trust anybody with that.
Well, you better be doing some yoga then. How are you going to light it? You going to just get on your back and put your legs up over your ears?
No, I figure I bend over
and then twist around?
Yeah, maybe
Give us a visual.
I guess, yeah. Okay, fine. I'd let you light it. That's
Thank you, man. Thank you. Finally, another thing off my bucket list.
There's a lot of stuff that I would have to prep for that probably. I think this time I would actually probably lube up the stick just to make sure that it slid out well.
I think you mentioned that last time. I think you really like to talk about lubing up that stick.
That's Joel. Right. You gotta lick enough. It before you stick it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But yeah.
Was that in the Bible, by the way? Lick it before you stick it?
Lick it before you stick it is actually
Socrates?
John chapter 4, 4:12. John 4:12 is lick it before you stick it.
But isn't it licketh before you sticketh?
Yes, actually it is. I actually have an updated Bible where they write in the language that we speak nowadays so that it's easier to take all the information in.
Speaking of the Bible, was that Bad Religion that you were singing? I can't tell your...
That is Bad Religion, yes. The song is called You. I have all these songs in my head recently because I have a top secret project that I'm working on with a couple comics and friends that we're going to try to get done pretty soon. So,
cool.
It's not like a permanent thing, but it would be like who knows what it'll evolve into, but it was we're just thinking about doing some socially distant yet live music at some point, and there's some great comics involved and some other faces that you might know from the world of Joel.
There's I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard today over towards like getting over towards East LA.
We get it. You walk. Wow.
Nice cadence, by the way. Speaking of East LA, there's that East LA comedy cadence. They always go like this. They always go. So, my roommates. So yeah, I was walking and I noticed there's a lot of empty buildings and parking lots. There's a lot of empty parking lots right now. Like there's a big parking lot with a giant. What was it? I don't know. It was like Bed Bath & Beyond going out of business. Everyone's going out of business, obviously, because no one wants to buy anything or can buy anything. So there's just a giant parking lot. And I thought, damn, that would be a great place to just do like a social distance concert or a social distance comedy show. Just roll up with a generator, old school style.
Till the cops show up and beat the shit out of everybody for having fun.
I mean, they're yeah, I guess, but they're kind of busy beating the shit out of people downtown or beating the shit out of it's gonna take them a minute. They're bored. They're lazy.
That's
You know,
true.
they don't really want to. I feel like the cops only really beat the shit out of people because they have to. They're there and then they're bored. Like they don't go out of their way to beat the shit out of people. They only beat the shit out of people when they're expected to be there and they're expected to do their job and they're like, I don't want to do my fucking job. I'd rather beat the shit out of people. Fuck this.
Yeah, that reminds me. I was thinking about this because every time people ask me a lot about old school punk stories, and I was thinking about it. I was like, man, 80% of the gigs that I played in a punk band, the cops shut the gigs down before we even got to play. So like, it's a weird.
That's a bad percentage. I thought you were gonna say 80% of the gigs that you played were in illegal venues and they.
Oh,
came
that's
off
true.
without a
That's
hitch.
why. That's no. We would always go on like third or fourth, and by the time it was our turn to go, there had already been a noise complaint, and we would just be loading our gear back up. So that was shitty.
Damn, Joel, I feel like this conversation can go in a really let's get back to that conversation. But before we do, I got to start the podcast the same way I always do, Joel. The mental health minute. We got to do it. I
Yeah.
gotta check in, Joel. I gotta check in. I worry about
thank
you.
you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'll tell you more about that after I burp. Hold on. Oh
Okay.
God. Excuse me. I
Do
hope.
you want me to edit? Do you want me to edit that out or make it
Nah,
like,
let's
more
do it. You know what?
pronounced?
I'm gonna bring up the beautiful elephant in the room. I got a new fucking microphone with the windscreen and everything. So I hope that this microphone picked up that burp in all of its disgusting beauty, in HD, whatever. But mental health. I'm good. I'm a little bit stressed. I got some things going on in my life right now that are stressful, but I believe that I will move past these things because it's it's freaking. There's just a lot of shit you got to do as an adult, and I'm in the middle of those things right now. And yeah, I've mentioned on this show before, paperwork.
AKA taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just
We're all suffering from that.
yeah, I'm a little bit stressed out about that, but it's okay. It's funny. This I'm on day 21 of meditation in a row today, and that has really helped, sort of just put things in perspective. And as much as I hate all this adult things that you gotta do, it's really helped me to sort of identify those feelings and kind of try to breathe my way through them. So, yeah, and also
Can you tell me a little bit about how do you actually feel like it's helping you and give a little I'm as new to it as you are, so I'm just curious how you notice what it does to you, or if you notice anything at all.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a lot more conscious of my thoughts and emotions when they happen now. Like there have been times where I want to feel sad or something, and I'm noticing that sometimes I prolong sadness because it's a comfortable place for me to be. And now when I feel sad, I can separate myself from that and go, that you're prolonging this. Like you don't have to feel this way for this long. Like you can probably move past this. There's just this weird voice now that's like, okay, is this a real thing that you're feeling sad about, or are you feeling sad longer than you need to because you're not doing the necessary steps to move past this? So it's definitely helped me identify those things that sort of, there are these things that what I've found about my thing is, and this is an interesting thing to me, because I find that there are times that I am suffering, not because I want to, but because it's a comfortable thing, like it's weird that humans will resort to certain unhealthy feelings because those things become familiar at a certain point. And I'm trying to pinpoint those things now and use these tools now to kind of move past those things, because like I said, I rob myself a lot of joy in the moment because I am worried about past or future things. And now I'm trying to enjoy the moment more often, because there will come a time where I am truly sad when something maybe tragic happens or whatever, right? Inevitably, human beings suffer tragedies at times in their life. Um, so what I want to do is not suffer when I'm not going through those things, so that when I finally go through those things, I'm a little more fresh and emotionally charged, and able to make it through those storms, rather than feeling like I'm in a storm all the time. And then when those things happen, I'm like, well, here we go again. It's like I find myself, my mom told me this story about my uncle. He was in Vietnam and he was lost in the jungle for like a week or something. He was in the military, and he said that when he was lost in Vietnam in the jungle, that it was just a paranoia, storm in his mind, and every little twig that he stepped on that snapped under his foot, his heart would sink, because he didn't know if it was a booby trap or something. And I feel like a lot of times I was living my life like that. Like every little I was just waiting for the what do they say, the foot to drop or the shoe to drop. Like I'm just sort of like waiting for what the next thing that I need to be sad about is, and that's not a good way to live. Like I need to live my life just a little more happy. And then when,
Like you were expecting bad things to happen.
yeah, I'm always expecting bad things to happen, and I thought that was a survival tactic, because I was like, well, expect the worst, and then whenever that happens, I'm ready for it or whatever. But really what it was doing was just robbing me of happiness in the present moment. And so the meditation and stuff has just kind of helped me to identify those things and sort of use those tools to escape that, so that I can enjoy the moment. Last night, I was stressed all day yesterday dealing with all that stuff, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a nice dinner with my girlfriend. Like we got Thai food. I went to her house for a little bit. We watched Misery, and like I just enjoyed my night. And then I was like, this will give me enough energy so that tomorrow I can overcome the task at hand with a little bit more energy, for lack of a better term. That should be a T-shirt for this show. For lack of a better term, I say that so often. But yeah, it's just helped me be more mindful of everything, man. And today, it's crazy because I've started doing things too with like my eyes open. That's like a tool they'll give you, or like a sort of a process they'll put you through where you can have your eyes open during meditation and stuff like that. I don't know. I've enjoyed it. It's also just nice to have these 10 to 13 minute things where I can detach from the world and dedicate it to my own mental sanity. I really enjoy that. But that's a long story longer. But these things are so in depth that we could probably talk about this for a full hour. Maybe we'll do a mostly meditation at some point.
Yeah, speaking of which, we do have the Patreon. Why don't you let people know how you feeling about that? We did a couple episodes.
It's been good, man. I like
People
it.
are joining.
Yeah, we got a new member. Like I really like it because it's like I would rather have a small number of people that really care about us than a large number of people that don't really give a fuck. So I'm proud of all the people that we've grown on the Patreon, and like those are true fans. I feel good about our like weekly chats. I feel like we are creating a community, and like most things that blossom into things that become bigger than we ever thought they could have been all start with growing community first. And so I'm excited about it, dude. I really like it. I really enjoyed our talk on mostly music. This last week we did one. Sort of started with the production of the 3-song thing that I'm working on, and I don't know. I just liked it. I'm gonna fuck around with the mix of the song that we premiered last week a little bit before it's like available for download. But this is all just sort of a work in progress, and I've realized if I don't throw anything out there, I will never do anything. So it's just been nice to have a place to go to get things done. And now I feel a little bit more of a fire lit under me, pun intended, with the bottle rocket butt boy.
Bottle Rocket Butt Boy. We got to make a cartoon.
That would
a great
be
cartoon
that would be great.
For
Yeah,
our-
Bottle Rocket. It would be, you know, it would be
for our
cool if
Patreon.
if there's any artists out there, I want to start working on merch and stuff, but that's sort of uncharted territory for me, and I'm also very nervous around the process of getting it done. And but that would be fun, like a Bottle Rocket logo, but it just says, like, you know, Mostly Sorry Bottle Rocket Company or something like that. Maybe we don't have to put butt stuff on there. I want our stuff to look dope. Like, I don't want that's the other thing. Like, when we make merch, I want it to look awesome, not just like, I don't really necessarily even want like funny shirts. Like, I don't want it to be like, you know, FBI, female body inspector, like corny shit like that. Like, I want it to be like almost like skate streetwear, like shit that anybody would wear, even if they don't know who the fuck I am or don't care about the podcast, you know. So anyway, that's
We'll figure all that out.
Yeah, so that's the Patreon.
But yeah, it's exciting.
Patreon.
I know at the next Patreon episode, because we're just doing mostly, we did mostly Sopranos, and then we decided to do mostly music because we were already thinking that, you know, the whole Sopranos thing was, we will go back to it obviously, but
Yeah.
you know, we were thinking it was going to just be, maybe we should switch it up and give people a chance to see what they like. So, you know, maybe we'll
Yeah.
do mostly skateboarding. We did mostly music. Maybe we'll do mostly movies, and we'll just kind of get a groove and see what people like. And also, you know, feel free to, we have an email if you're, you know, if you want to join the Patreon and you want to see, you know, a weekly show or a special show, write us an email. Our email is, you know, mostlysorrypod@gmail.com. Ask Joel a question. Tell me to shut the fuck up. Whatever you got to do, send it in the email.
Well, before we started this, you said I got the idea for the next mostly whatever, and I'm
It's
excited.
going to be
I wanna
mostly backgrounds. We're going to set you up with a green screen
Oh my
behind
God.
you, and then I'll pitch you some different backgrounds, you know, like outer space, underwater, the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
a drum, you know, what's that drum store called? Like Sam Ash or guitar.
That's where you went with Sam Ash. Sam Ash
It
is
was
a
the first one.
corporate
It was the first one that
music
popped
store.
in my head.
Guitar
Yeah, but-
Center.
Yeah, but I didn't know what's a drum store? I don't
Probably
know a drum store.
Professional Drum Shop is probably the most famous one. You know, shout out to them. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. They're a great independently owned shop. People from all
Like,
over the world.
how would I
will
know
make-
that though? I'm not a drummer, Joel. Like, that's not fair to me. That's
You know
not
what?
fair.
And
That's not
honestly,
fair.
if anything is worth it for this episode was to have you say you are not a drummer, and
You're a bully.
That's
I do,
funny.
but I fucking know what a paradiddle is, you know, and I pride myself.
you are
at
okay
least
at
having the
drumming. I'll give
bass,
you that. You're not.
but I'm
bad
not a
at
drummer.
drumming.
But I'm not a drummer. So that's
right.
how. I'm not a skater, but I dropped it on vert. You know what I mean?
I'm
that's
not a
how
rapper, but I'm
comedian.
doing a
There you
3-song album.
That's how you do it. I'm not a podcast producer, but this shit sounds amazing. So
You fucking are now, dude. That's
there you
what
go.
you get.
There you go. That's how
Well-
I roll. I don't want to take any credit. I just do. I like to do things. So
I like
fucking-
that. I
go
think
to,
that's a
I
good
go
approach.
to Sam Ash.
Yeah, I think
That was just that was my Sam Ash pitch.
wow. Shout out
By
to
the way,
Sam
can I
Ash.
say while I'm ranting and not letting you talk and interrupting you, let me just say that I know there's some people leaving comments on the YouTube because I run the YouTube channel,
Okay.
and I know there's some people who think that I bet they're saying that you censor the comments, right? Are people,
Yeah, I've
are
gotten a
anyone-
few. I've seen a
Yep,
few saying that I
knew
delete
it.
comments. I absolutely don't. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know what the fuck because I run the YouTube. YouTube filters comments into sometimes there's comments that are like need to be reviewed comments. There's spam, and then there's comments. So sometimes YouTube will be like, I don't know, man, that comment, it feels like it might be a little bit edgy, so I'm gonna let the person have to review it.
Okay.
I didn't know this. I just found this out because I was just I don't know what I was doing. I was looking to make us moderators, and I
Okay.
went in which I couldn't figure out. So help me out, anyone. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. I'm not that tech with YouTube stuff. So anyway, I just was looking around and I found comments, and then I saw needs review, and I saw a bunch of comments, and I clicked needs review, and I read those comments, and I was like, that is hilarious. People with heavy opinions not getting their opinions onto the comments, not being seen. They must be upset. And guess what? I just left them in review because, you know, if you're going to write something that needs to be reviewed according to YouTube, I don't know. I don't have time to review stuff. I don't have time.
Yeah,
I
what
don't
the
feel, I don't
fuck?
feel like
We have
reviewing comments.
we have our swords and too many fires. Is that how they say it? You gotta have keep swords in the What is the phrase? Do you know that phrase?
I think it's we have too many bottle rockets in the butts.
That's
right
right.
now.
Too many. Well, you know what? Honestly, what is too many? I would say one, probably too many. I think
way.
eventually I will do it. I want to do that. I'm gonna shoot the. We'll put that on the Patreon. I'm terrified. I never thought at 33 years old I would. It's funny the gusto that I was ready to do it as a young boy. I was like, yeah,
Okay,
we're
Joel.
fucking
Okay,
doing
Joel.
this.
Here you go. This is it. I'm telling you right now. This is a great way to get people to join the Patreon. We'll make a mockumentary about it. We'll make a mockumentary called Bottle Rocket Butt Boy. Maybe we'll even make a trailer for it right now.
I mean, how about
to,
this?
like,
How about
get people
this?
Hyped up. It'll be a
If
great
we get
mockumentary
if
about
we
a kid. Yeah.
let's set a number, and if we reach this number of Patreon subscribers, then I'll do it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, and once we get it, because that'll be the amount of money to for the budget. We don't really need a budget, but it will just pretend like we need a budget, and then we'll make a mockumentary about about a guy who wants to beat the world record for most bottle rockets shot out of your butt.
No, dude, I'm not trying to break a
That would be-
record. I just want to shoot
dude.
one, be done with it, and that's it.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, but the mockumentary is about a guy who wants to shoot. He wants to break the world record, but he's scared, so he has to do one at a time.
Honestly,
And,
no,
and he's
fuck a
trying to figure out if it's
mockumentary.
safe.
No,
There's
we
no
just,
fucking world record. Yeah, we're making a mockumentary, man. This is great. This is what I want to do with my life. This is
Wait,
great.
okay,
I
so
wanna
when you
make
say this, are we
mockumentary. So join the Patreon.
are just for my own safety, are we talking about the most like within an hour, or are we doing the most at once? Because I feel like anything more than one, the sparks are really gonna hurt. Or
Okay,
they're
Joel,
gonna sting.
Joel, use your meditation. Just be in the moment. Calm down.
Oh my god!
I'm talking about. No, Joel. It's a mockumentary.
You're not the one who
It's
has
just a
to
movie.
shoot. Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
don't have to. You don't have
oh,
to.
so it's
the
fake.
concept. The movie it's a fake movie. Yeah, it's about a guy, who wants to shoot. He wants to beat the world record, right?
Okay.
And then I don't even know if there is a world record. We have to look up the world record for most bottle rockets shot out of your butt at once. Maybe maybe in the movie he just decides at once or within the hour.
So
That'd be funny
here's
within the hour.
my immediate thought is,
and the idea is maybe you fail. Like people fail. People fail in documentaries. People fail as well. So maybe in the mockumentary, I don't want to give away the ending, but maybe you fail. I'm just saying, just so you don't go off on a fucking like I'm not gonna do the don't be a pussy. Shoot
immediate
50, shoot 50 at a time. What's wrong with you?
dude. I also don't. My first thought of mockumentary is no. How about this? We get fucking 5 HD cameras and we shoot we film the real thing when I really do it. I feel like that's more.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's boring though. That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
it's
you
not-
fucking
it's-
guys. Me, I guarantee you, I will be
You could make a
anything
fun
but
10
bored.
You could make a 10-minute movie out of it, and it could be a funny. It could be a
How
funny
about this?
character for
You make a
Bottle
10-minute
Rocket Butt
movie out
Boy.
of it.
That's what I plan on doing. I plan on making the movie. I'm going to be doing the editing and the sound work.
If I can
and
do
make
it with the least amount
license
of
the-
work possible, I'm in. Sure,
oh my
whatever.
God, that's not what you say on your own podcast, Joel. Jesus.
Dude, I'm keeping it real, dude. This is a good look right here, right? It's a good look, not a good look.
Oh, hey everybody. Hey fans of mine. I hate work. I hate doing anything creative. But hey, Joel, it's your life.
No, I love doing the podcast. I am okay. I'm saying that I'm gonna shoot skyrockets out of my ass. I feel like that's fair, but I feel like being an actor, like, hi, I'm Bottle Rocket Butt Boy. We're gonna break the world record today.
I don't
This
think
is the
you gotta be that
mockumentary.
serious about it, Joel.
Whatever, dude.
Okay,
Anyway.
Joel, you win. You win. Thanks
Well, I
for
don't want to
shooting my
crush.
ideas
I don't want to
down,
crush
bro.
your. No. I'm not shooting it
sounds
down.
like
We'll
you
talk
do wanna
about
crush
this.
My dreams.
No,
All
I
right.
want to. What we're gonna
Anyway.
do is talk about it. I'm gonna see where your head's at, and we're gonna figure this out. But
we can agree on this. You will shoot one bottle rocket out of your butt, and we'll film it, and I mean we'll put it on the Patreon if anyone.
sure, yeah, okay, I'll
you
agree
just-
right here on
everyone's
camera.
gonna-
I'll do it.
There you go, Bottle Rocket Butt Boy. So that's
That name is fucking. It's so.
that name
dumb.
rules. Deserves a movie poster.
Okay, that I'm down with. If somebody can make a mock-up movie poster, then the
I
mockumentary
can.
shall
I
follow.
can make a. I can definitely make a mock-up poster for that.
I almost want like a
But
Ryan
yeah,
J.
other people
Ebelt,
can
like
as well.
a full on like fucking like hand drawn like Hollywood poster. That would be funny.
Like a
You know what'd be
massive
funny?
circus, like a circus poster, like a circus poster with you in the middle on your back with your legs behind your ears and a giant, like a massive.
I'm not. Here's the thing too, is like, you know what'd be funny is if I have a full on like Evil Knievel suit, but the ass is cut out of it.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, dude. And you have a helmet on, you know.
Oh my
everything,
god,
man.
it's
The
so
cape.
dumb. Why would I have a helmet? Zero protection to the part of my body that I need.
And then you're in like a huge stadium. You're in a huge stadium, man. That'd be great. Like you could do,
Man.
we
Oh.
could get the Rose Bowl. It's
Oh my
empty though.
God. That's great, dude. So I was thinking about it a little bit. Like people really seem to relate to like just stories of being a dumb kid, like fucking up when you're a dumb kid, and like I was the worst, dude. I feel like I didn't even really become a human being till after I was like 25. I was just like a fucking a chimp, dude. Like I was just a dumb whatever. And then but it was funny. I started thinking about like, so me and Robert, we text a lot because he was around for a lot of this crazy shit that we did as kids. And he what did he say? I forget. We were texting last night, and then I was like, oh, like it would be funny to tell. So there was this one time. So Robert lived with me for a little bit when we were teenagers. And there was a time where every night he would go. We would do our separate things, but there was a night. Every night he would go out with some buddies, and every night that I would get home, he would have some crazy fucking story about like some fight that broke out, like whatever, like just crazy shit. And so one night I was in Hollywood. It was late at night. Like I had gone to something, and okay, I'll fuck it, just for the sake of full honesty, right? What are you giggling at? You're already giggling.
It's taking you a while to even. You haven't really gone anywhere. Then you're like, all right, let me just.
Well, because sometimes I struggle with like I know.
Spill
Well,
the beans.
that's racist. I don't like that you say beans. Spill the beans. All right. There's
Spill
all
the
kinds.
Goya beans. Spill the
Oh
Goya
my
beans, and then I
God,
hold a
dude.
can. I hold a can of Goya beans up. Vote Trump.
Brought you. Oh my God. Huh? So I okay, so all right, so when I was a teenager, I was sort of like on a shitty pathway, right? I was kind of like had no direction. I was just kind of fucking up, and so I met this dude through the Christian church that I was going to, who knew a guy who was going to like AA meetings or something, and first they thought it would be a good idea. I was just fucking around a lot. I was experimenting with a lot of things, and he was like, maybe if you hook up with this guy and you go to a few AA meetings with this guy, maybe this will help you sort of redirect your energy, blah, blah, blah. And in his defense, it did. It definitely, going to those meetings and hearing people tell real stories about the crazy shit they were going through, I was like, oh, like it definitely stopped me from this pathway of, let's say I was on a, like, what are those, like, box cars? Like, I was in a box car going down a hill at fucking 40 miles per hour towards possible destruction. And when I went to those meetings, kind of helped me pump the brakes and sort of like slow down a little bit. I was kind of like, fucking up, dude. And so one night there was a meeting. There's a famous meeting in Hollywood. It was called Hollywood Late Night, and it was it later on the Berrubians Theater that became an open mic on, what is it, La Brea? Is it La Brea? Next Stage Theater. I don't know if you ever went to that mic.
Yeah, I did.
So it used to be held in that same building. It was, I think, at midnight. And dude, Hollywood Late Night, if you could imagine the type of people that went to an AA meeting at that place late at night, it was with all due respect and love, and I mean this in the greatest way, it was a freak show of, really hurt, and that feels bad to say freak show. It was a wild group of people, great. I met a lot of really cool fucking people there that had changed their lives from the depths of hell, literally. And
Describe some of the characters that you might see there on any given
man.
Hollywood late night.
Dude, I can't even begin to do it because
Let me guess. Like middle-aged blonde woman with like super spiked up hair who looks like maybe 10 or 15 years ago she would date like the lead singer from Motley Crue or any kind of band like that. There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And
that,
dudes like that too, right? And dudes
Yes.
like that, like
Dudes like
washed
that.
up dude that looked like he wanted to be in a hair metal band like 15 years ago, but then still hasn't really given up that style.
I'll
He's
say
in his
this:
30s.
this guy that was going there, he kept a bottle of Jack hidden in the building, just in case. It had never. I don't think it had ever been opened. It was a brand new like bottle of Jack, but it was hidden. I guess it was a theater, so he had it hidden in the dressing rooms of the theater. Anyway, it was like people you would see like in the decline of Western civilization, like people who maybe went to go see the Germs back in the day, like or like just Hollywood vagrants.
But people in Hollywood, they never give up their style. You'll see like
you're right, and I love that
75-year-old
though.
women who still look like they're like trying to be a movie star.
Well, you know
see
what's
that a
cool
lot.
about that is they don't fucking talk about it. They be about it. They rode that shit out. They were like punks till death, like, and I like it. There's something really cool about that. Like, they didn't go with the times. That's who they were, deep inside. And so anyway, so I met a bunch of really cool people there. I met a lot of really fucking crazy people there who were, bad people and maybe were there because of court order or whatever, maybe there to prey on people who were hurting. I heard, back in the day, I heard like people told me don't go to NA because dealers hang out at NA or whatever. But I met a lot of sort of crazy people in AA too who were there, and I was like, I don't know if these people are really about this life, trying to change their lives. They seemed a little bit predatory, some of them, and but anyway, so I used to go to this meeting. I can't remember what night it was. I think it was maybe Thursday or Friday nights at like midnight. But so I'm leaving this meeting. It was me and a friend of mine. I'm leaving this meeting late at night, and I'm going up La Brea. I turn right onto Hollywood Boulevard, and we're skateboarding. And as I turn the corner, the sound of my skateboard, this guy's walking his pit bull, and the skateboard startles the pit bull, and so the pit bull bites me, dude. Like, I was wearing sort of loose jeans at the time, so the pit bull, the only thing that really got me was like one tooth, like the whatever the canine is, like caught me. The rest caught my pants, rips my pants. All these people are leaving the club. Like, there was like a club on the corner at the time. All these people are leaving, and this drunk woman sees it happen, and she starts basically like a Karen kind of, but she had my back at that night. She was like, "This is not okay. You need to sue him. Like, what, whatever." And I'm just a dumb kid, and I'm just like, "Yo, is the dog clean? Like, I don't care. Like, if the dog's clean and I'm not gonna get an infection in my leg, I don't care. Whatever. Just tell me if the dog's clean." She's like, "No." She's like, "Here." She's like, "That's not cool." And the dog was a full-grown pit bull, dude. Like, his head was the size of a basketball. Like, the dude was walking him, and it fucking hurt. But she pulls out like a makeup pen because she had no pen at the time, writes her phone number like on my hand. She's like, "You call me, we're gonna figure this out," like blah blah blah. Writes it on my hand in like eyeliner or something. I didn't care. At the end of it, I look at the guy. I was like, "Yo, is the dog clean?" He's like, "Yeah, he's clean." I'm like, "All right, fuck it, whatever." I had no intention of suing the guy or whatever. And I basically skate from La Brea to, I think it was Vine Street, because that's where my mom was picking up me and my buddy. So we skateboard from there to Vine. My leg's bleeding. My pants are ripped. I forgot who it was. I called somebody, or I go back to I don't remember. So I talked to somebody from the late night meeting, and they were like, "You should at least go to the doctor to get it cleaned out." This is back when I had health insurance. So my mom picks me up. We go to Kaiser. I'm getting it cleaned out. I have to wait at Kaiser. It's already fucking 2 a.m. or something like that. And to clean it out, they had to stick a cotton swab into the hole where the pit had like bit me, so they're like cleaning it out. It was a crazy night. I end up leaving the doctor really late at night. I go home. On my way home, I'm like, I can't wait to tell Robert this. I finally have a crazier story than he did, right? I walk into my room, the lights are off, flip the light on. It's him and another buddy of ours, and the other friend is bleeding from the head. He's bleeding from the head. And I was ready to be like, dude, I finally have a better story. Our buddy got stabbed in the head that night at a fight in front of a strip club. And I was like, God damn it. Like, they fucking got me again, right? And apparently, he was okay. Like, I think what happened was, and I'll break down this story later because my buddy texted me all the details, but he got stabbed in the head. And I think what happened was the blade, like, hit his skull and, like, just slipped into like the skin in between his ear and his head. He was okay, but he had a crazy like stab wound in his whatever. And for years after that, because there was graffiti all over my room, there was a tag on the wall that said, I got stabbed in the head last night. That he had oh my god, I just said his name, we might have to beep that, but
All right.
but I'll mark it anyway. But he had tagged, I got stabbed in the head that night. And I asked Robert if he was cool with me telling this before. If he's not, we'll beep that out too. But
Jeez,
but
give
yeah.
his address, why don't you, Joel? You're a snitch. You're horrible.
I told him that. I texted him. I go, I don't want to be snitching on record, dude. Like, tell me. I'll change the names if you want. Whatever.
What was
this
the fight
was
about? We'll beep it
so
out if we have to.
okay.
What was
So
the
I guess
fight
they
about?
so they
You
used
just
to
said
be
his first name anyway. It's not that bad. I mean,
yeah,
there's a
it's
lot of
fine,
those.
and he's cool. But he's completely like we've all sort of completely changed our lives around at this point, and I haven't seen
Dude,
the
we've
other
all
guy
been there.
forever.
Who hasn't gotten stabbed in the head in front of a strip club for like
Me?
saying some bullshit to the stripper? What was it? What was the fight about? Did he say
It
something
wasn't
to
even to the
or-
stripper. So what happened was there used to be a strip club in Frogtown, not in Frogtown, but like on the outskirts of the neighborhood. So there is a street called Fletcher, and then Ripple, and Ripple goes into the neighborhood. But on Fletcher, there was it's now where Zebulon is. If you guys know Zebulon, it's like a music place here. Totally. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about my issues on.
No, I don't. I get all
the
my
neighborhood
music stuff at
changing.
Sam Ash. Sorry about that.
Get the fuck out of here. It's a venue, not a not a fucking store. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I
No,
go to all my
I'm sorry.
shows
It's
at
not
Sam
Zebulon.
Ash.
It's not Zebulon. It's right next door to Zebulon, but now it's a weed dispensary. But it used to be a strip club, and
I get all my weed at Sam Ash. Anyway, go ahead. What was the fight about?
Sam Grass. Anyway, so I guess they were like really. They were really drunk. They had gone out for that night. It was really late. It was like 1 a.m. or something. They're trying to get into the strip club. They wouldn't let them in because they were wasted or something like that. And then these other dudes show up, and somehow they're starting to walk away. And Robert looks back, and is arguing with the other guys. And so then they get into a full-on fight. Robert goes back to like try to help, and they spill out into the sidewalk, and there's like cars going by. And the other guy, I don't know, there's like this whole squabble. So apparently in the squabble, the first like couple punches the guy threw, like he got stabbed in the head. And Robert's like, if I didn't like step in at that time, like they could have stabbed him like a bunch of times like after that, but we like came in to sort of like save him, and it ended up whatever. This whole squabble happens in front of the strip club, but he texted me more details. I whatever. There was a fight in front of the club, and he got stabbed. I think the funniest part of it to me,
Right, there was a fight at the strip club. I mean, that's
yeah.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but so the funniest part to me was that I thought that I had one up them that night on a crazy night, and like I remember that just going like, God damn it, because I had a thought in my head where I was like, finally, I have like the craziest story. I got bit by a pit bull on Hollywood Boulevard and ended up going to the emergency room to get it cleaned out, and I get it, whatever, and ends up I could never top these dudes because they were just living that crazy life at the time.
You came home and they were like, he was stitching him up in the bedroom. They're like, you
Yeah,
went to
just-
the hospital, you pussy.
Yeah, exactly. But luckily everything was okay. Like he wasn't like seriously injured. But yeah, it
That
was
is
funny.
lucky. I mean, it like hit his skull and like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
skull actually
and
blocked it.
Robert
It's
was
a cheap
saying
knife,
like,
I guess.
yeah, whatever, those little blades that people carry, but um and then Robert said like they all went entered the river pathway and they were just like all like drunk walking the river, just like being loud and obnoxious or whatever. But he's like, then he texted me, he's like, dude, we have all kinds of river stories. And I was like, yeah, dude, like, so we'll maybe that might be like not a segment, but at times I'll break down these river stories. And it was funny because he was texting me and he was like, oh yeah, or like that time that okay, so the river every few whatever 100 feet there are these like cat holes. This graffiti writer back in the day used to paint cat faces on these. They're basically where the rainwater comes out of when it rains. But this artist they're shaped kind of like cat holes because the two hinges that hold them up are like the ears and then the thing's round. So there were all these famous cat faces painted on them back in the day. But so there's all these places where river water comes out, and there's one where there's like green moss that there's these embankments and there's green moss that comes out of it because it's just always wet. And one time he goes, hey, remember that time that Chris like hit the moss, slid down the side of the embankment and slammed into the wall at the bottom, and we were all just laughing at him. And I was like, that was me. And I hit the moss, I slid down, and you and Chris laughed at me. And I was on my bike and I thought that I could like bunny hop over the moss or something, but I ended up only my front wheel did or something, and my back wheel hit the moss. I ended up sliding like 20 feet down the embankment on my bike and just slammed into the wall at the bottom of the river. Anyway, long story longer.
It's crazy how dangerous bikes are. Kids on bikes are, like no helmets. When I was a kid, no helmets.
For sure, I still don't rock the helmet.
You just got a bike, man. Like you're just a little kid on a BMX bike, and all the older kids like they build these jumps and shit. And
oh man,
and then they're like, you want to do it, but you don't think you can do it, and they're all doing it, and it's pretty gnarly, man. I got absolutely destroyed on a bike a couple times when I was a kid. Out of my league,
the amount of dangerous ass ramps that I built, like. My parents were always like, what the fuck are you doing? Just in front of the house, just a huge wooden thing, like, off like some janky like jump. Then I remember getting like a nice, like a real kicker ramp from somebody that was like, had the curve and stuff. And then I remember my nephew.
You ever seen anybody? We had one. We had, what's that? God.
No, go ahead. I want to know yours because I'm trying to think of the details of this one.
Like we had one that was like just a piece of shit board, like a thin board plopped up on some like cinder blocks.
Yeah.
And the first kid, we'd always send this one kid. He was psycho. He was like the Evil Knievel motherfucker,
There was always one,
send
dude.
him. Yeah. He was nuts, man. And he had this bike with like a big, like his seat was like one of those big cushiony ones, you know what I mean? Like, so he would just haul off and just like land on his seat like a pillow. And this fool, he smoked it like down like 6 blocks, like just flying, and he hit the wood, and his wheel went straight, like just broke right into the board. But there was enough. It was like the perfect amount. It was like it wasn't like it just ran it straight through. It went up, but then was sunk down, and he went flying, and the bike stayed still. The bike got stuck in the ramp, and he went flying. I swear to God, he flew like an entire block. He got. And then he landed like a Superman, like right on his like chest and like sliding on his face.
Oh,
man. But yeah, whatever. He was all good. He came back the next week and was still jumping over trash
It definitely
cans and
happened to me a few times where the wood broke like that. Like it because it bent, it just kind of cracked in the center. One time my nephew, like we dared him to jump the ramp like for a brisk iced tea. He was like, I don't know, I'm 30. He's 21 now. So he's what, like 12 years younger than me? Is that the math? I don't know. I'm really bad at math. But he was a kid and he like went off the ramp and just fucking ate shit at the bottom. And I remember going, that's brisk, baby. Because he did it for a brisk. Yeah, that dude, there was this kid, but back to like those kids who were like the Evil Knievel. There was this kid, he was like kind of okay at skating, but he would like go for it, like no matter what. And I remember like one day he was trying to ollie over some or kickflip a box, and I remember having the thought, I was like, dude, I don't want to like skate with this dude, because every time we skate, it's like watching Passion of the Christ. Like he's going for this trick, and it's just like, dude, it's not worth it. Like stop. Like it would be funny because he'd be just like, this would be a funny cartoon, like just broken bones, like bones sticking out of the skin, and he's just like, nah, dude, I'm gonna get it, dude. I gotta do it. And you're like, stop. Like this is awful, dude. Nobody wants to watch you wreck your body like this. But yeah, dude, that's funny, man. We had a lot of fucking crazy times now that I look back at being just a dumb child, man. Like I remember there were all these times that like whatever, girls in the neighborhood would like walk by and you'd try to show off. Not once did it work out well in my favor. Anytime I tried to do a trick in front of a girl, I would slam so hard, and then they would just laugh at me, and then they'd never talk to me again.
That's what happened, dude. That's the difference between you and Ryan Sheckler right there. There it is.
We were skating when I was in maybe like the 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, one of those like middle school times. But I remember a buddy of mine fell, and we got it on video, and we edited this tape where it was just him falling over and over again, like for like 5 minutes. It was pretty cool. I remember doing that. We filmed like a skate video, and our teacher actually let us show it. And I remember in that video there was a part, it was just him going, ugh, 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 ugh. But that was when you do like tape to tape, dude.
Do you ever see where people like edit like someone slamming into a song? Have you ever seen those?
Yes, I'm sure I have. Those are like, it's funny, but
those are so crazy.
And honestly, it was
like
kind of cool.
Someone falls and goes, and then it's like, doom, 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 like it sounds perfectly. It sounds, however they do it, they edit perfectly to match the beat.
I like that. There's been a couple cool edits of stuff that, like, you know what I like. They show like the Trump like breathing in, like the nasal drip thing. Those are pretty good.
Oh yeah, where they just cut all the nasal stuff together. Mm-hmm. Man, the internet is amazing, man.
Man, it's undefeated.
I'm jealous of the meme makers. We are the meme makers. Anyway, Joel, we are towards the end of the podcast.
Really? Wow.
If you're getting the end of the podcast book out, so we'll have to do another mostly music and talk about all the punk venues that we went to as kids. That would be a good episode.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man. It's funny because I always write a bunch of notes, but then we just start going, and then I'm like, fuck, like, yeah. Did I ever tell? Whatever. I got a bunch of. We got to talk about all this, but I had like things I want to talk about are like when I was a kid, my mom worked at the LA Zoo, so I want to get into that. One time I went to Christian camp and I pretended like I was possessed. What else? Let's see.
This is just a trailer for future episodes. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the trailer, but okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. This was actually what was fun about this was I feel like I got into like a bit of a comfortable conversation and didn't feel super like nervous the whole time or whatever. I was able to just sort of be in the moment and kind of let it flow. Because sometimes when me and you talk like off the air, like we'll just have these cool talks, and so I want to try to bring that a little bit more into this. Because sometimes we're talking, I'm like, damn, I wish we were recording right now. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. How long did we go? We're like, so
we're like 50 minutes right now. So I mean,
okay.
I didn't mean to throw you off like that. I was just saying, like,
Jesus Christ.
Now you're gonna get all like, oh fuck, now what do I say? But
no.
If you want to talk about the punk venues that you were at as a kid, we got. I mean, there's no time limit. I'm just saying, I just try to keep it at an hour and.
Yeah.
If people want to hear us talk more, we have the bonus content every week, and we could do as many of those as we want. I mean, we talk a lot. We talk a lot off the air as well. So
yeah. I think maybe like what I'll start doing is like, I'm so bad at taking notes, but just like start taking notes about. And I have a couple like that I write down, but I really wanted to get the stabbed in the head story out. Thanks to everybody who like I've gotten some cool responses off of for the song that I premiered. Working on another one right now. It was funny because yesterday I was like writing a little bit for it. And I thought I finished the first verse, and I was like, oh, it's cool, and I recorded it. And then I listened back, and I was like, that's not it. But then today I listened to it again, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it's funny how sometimes time away from something and like fresh ears you sort of see it in a different perspective. So that was cool. I've been sort of playing drums a lot, which has been fun. Yeah, here we go. You're right. Maybe I did get in my head towards the end of this. But it's
My
funny because
bad.
what do you? No, it's all good. You're just trying to keep track of stuff. We've sort of consistently done an hour like every time, but I don't really think that whatever. That's the cool thing about
I mean,
this.
we would have done an hour or two if I said that at like 59 minutes, but I thought that you were kind of on a good roll, and that when I said that, it'd be like you'd just kind of do a little 10-minute ender,
keep going.
like you were doing a stand-up set. You know what I mean? I give you the 10-minute light, and you're like, oh, let me wrap this up real quick.
Yeah. Well, I think
you were
that's
rolling on an hour and a half show right there.
some of the things that I want to talk about might go kind of long. So I'm like,
Oh shit! Hold on. Never mind. I got it for you, Joel. I forgot. We had a couple questions on the email. I meant to do that in the beginning, but I forgot.
Nice.
You know what, Joel? This is totally my fault. This is
It's
my
all
fault
good.
today, Joel.
Wow.
So, as
you know what I like? You know what I like about that? I like a person who is willing to admit when they made a mistake. That's why
made
I
a mistake,
fuck
Joel.
with you, dear.
Don't rub it in. But I made a mistake. It happens once in a great while, or every day if you're my wife. Oh, got it. Still got it. My wife. All right. So, here we go. We do have an email. Just write in, man. Just do it. Just write in right now.
We like it. I like
mostly
hearing from you guys.
sorrypod@gmail. Just be like, yo, Joel, what up? Here's an email for you, because it makes us feel good, And honestly, Joel, I don't want to speak for him, but I don't feel like we've gotten enough emails. There's questions going in the chat, a lot of questions in the chat, a lot of questions on your Instagram and stuff like that. But we pretty much only, and some in the comments for review, but we only answer ones that are sent to the email. I'll be honest with you. All right, Joel, you ready?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be.
Here comes the question. This is from Hot by Design. Oh, I get it. It's HOUGHT by BY. Hot by Design.
What does that mean? What do you mean you get? Explain to me. I'm an idiot.
Hot, like good looking.
Oh.
Hot by. It's a name. Hot by is the first name. Hot by Design.
Okay.
So it's Hot by Design. All right, I get it. Anyway, wow. Hey, great pod. They're on episode 3. Hot by Design is on episode 3 right now.
Cool.
If this makes it, it made it. Congratulations to the email service. If it makes it, can you give me a shout out? Can you give a shout out to future me? Answer my questions for future me. What is your favorite rap group? Sorry if you already answered that. Remember, I'm from the past.
Wow. Shout out to Hot by Design. Hot by. First name Hot by, last name Design. Shout out to you, future you.
Right.
Favorite rap group. This is a hard one. I think I know my answer like immediately, but do you have one, David?
I think my answer is probably the same as yours. If I had to pick one, it's probably the same as yours.
Oh man, I don't know. If I had to pick one, I would say Beastie Boys probably.
Oh, okay. No, I would say Public Enemy.
That's
probably.
what I thought you were gonna say. Yeah, I thought about that. They are one of my
so
favorite,
hard,
but
though. Fuck.
Well, I was just going by like the sort of influence they've had on me artistically overall, and the amount of like songs of theirs that I just kind of like didn't know that I knew all the lyrics to until I really thought about it. So that I think overall, like, yeah, probably the Beastie Boys.
That's a tough one for me, man. I struggle. I mean,
yeah.
Public Enemy was the first. Public Enemy, Run DMC, but Public Enemy was the first group that I really like. I was just in awe of them for sure. Yeah, and just like I wanted to like the references. I wanted to look up all the references and like, oh, who's Malcolm X? Who's Martin Luther King?
Yeah.
Who's Frederick Douglass? Anyone they would mention, I would just, that's what you do with your favorites. You always want to know who they like and who influenced them, and you look that shit up. But, man, Tribe Called Quest, though, Boogie Down Productions, I don't know, man. Freestyle Fellowship.
I know. I was thinking
so
about
many.
Yeah, there's the Far Side is up there too.
Oh yeah, Far Side.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I would say just overall, like, as far as like, I feel like if somebody was asking me stuff about the Beastie Boys, I could actually answer. I have enough like in my memory banks about it because yeah, I don't know, I've just absorbed it for so many years. But yeah, so I would go with that.
Dope. Like it. I like it. I think it's
Also,
fair.
when you were
Beastie
talking about
Boys.
like sending emails, we just like it because it's like I'm doing this in my fucking bedroom, so it's just nice to know you're sending it out there and people are listening. Hit me with the
True.
next one and fire away.
All right, the next question. Last question of the day. We only got 2 questions this week. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's
Nice.
disappointing. Well, that's fine though. Thank you to those who wrote in. By the way, this one's from Carla Yepes. Maybe we shouldn't say their names. Maybe people can then like look them up on Instagram and see bikini pictures. I'm sorry about that.
Wow, you didn't say that
Hey,
for
so
the
Joel,
for the
you've
other
been
guys. Sounds sexist, David.
Well, the other
Anyway,
person's hot by design, so they clearly, they enjoy the. I don't know. You're right,
wow.
but
Go ahead, dig. No, keep digging. Keep digging. Somebody sent us a picture of David digging his own grave.
I'm gonna be cremated, so maybe digging the.
The hole that we throw your
maybe-
ashes. Can I shoot your
Yeah, or
ashes out of
maybe-
my butt? In a
Oh,
bottle?
please! Oh my God, I think we just sealed the deal. If we get enough Patreon members,
I don't like that I'd be
Uh,
doing it after you're gone. Anyway, all right.
Here we go. So, Joel, you've been taking Taekwondo. Would you show us a move or two? LOL. If not, next time. Thanks. Smiley face. Carla.
Definitely not doing taekwondo. I'll tell you that. I was doing jujitsu. But
Dude, jujitsu, Taekwondo. Come on.
yeah,
Same shit. Kung Fu. You're a Kung Fu master. Do some
I
kung
don't
fu,
know
bitch.
much
That's what
about
she's saying.
taekwondo. I think taekwondo is all kicks, right?
I don't know.
I feel like
Dude,
you're
I-
like a kid that did taekwondo. Like you did taekwondo as a child, David. Did you ever do
Not
any
at all. But
martial
you know
arts
what?
at all?
Never in my life. I wrestled in high school. Was the closest I came
That's pretty good.
to doing any martial arts, and I lasted about 2 weeks because the captain of the team was a heavyweight, and I had accidentally almost poked his sister's eye out in grade school
Uh-huh.
by flicking a bread tie. You break those bread ties in half. You ever do that with
Yeah.
those flat?
Yeah.
I did. When I learned that, I flicked it. She called me a name or something. I flicked it and I smacked her right in the eye, and she almost lost her eye. Well, that's what he told me when he sat on me and like tortured me every day in wrestling practice. So
Gotcha.
I went 2 weeks. I went 2 weeks. Do you ever get bullied at all in school? At all?
Yeah. It didn't mostly wasn't physical. A lot of it was just like constantly like fucking with me or like whatever. Like but yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. But it's funny because I look back at it now and I've also had my moments of like where I was an asshole to people and it was because I was getting it. So then I like would maybe turn it on people that whatever. Sometimes I feel really shitty about that, but I wasn't like a bully
Yeah.
per se, but I did like redirect my energy at times, I think. But yeah, for sure. It's funny because well, we'll get into this on another episode, but
Right.
I kind of had the
By the way,
same.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'll
I
tell you
just
what I was gonna say.
yeah, for sure. I've got stories about that, but I've had I kind of had the same person or persons that like did it from like first grade to fucking ninth.
Wow.
So there's that.
Wow, that's
but
crazy.
I'm sure they're doing great now.
Let's find them. Let's find them and call them and see if they'll
And
acknowledge and
interview them.
apologize.
Oh my god, that'd be a trip.
That'd be great.
I got like super anxiety just hearing you say that because it's like that would be one of those like immersion therapy sort of moments. But
That'd be
yeah,
fun.
don't to answer your question, I don't
Okay,
do
anyway, I looked
taekwondo.
I looked up Taekwondo to let you know. It says
Oh, thanks.
Taekwondo is a Korean martial art characterized by its emphasis on head-high kicks, jumping spinning kicks, and fast-kicking techniques, with kicks and striking being above the waist height only. So, yeah, it focuses on the kicks, obviously.
Okay, cool.
So maybe
Yeah,
you
no-
learn some techniques because you take jujitsu, and isn't jujitsu like a mixed martial arts?
No,
Isn't it? Or is it
jujitsu is
more
just grappling. It's mostly like
Oh,
it's
okay.
ground fighting, so different. But yeah, I think everything, all of those are good if you learn something from everything. But no, I don't. And honestly, I miss jujitsu so fucking bad, dude. But you just can't do it during a global pandemic, or at least I can't, because I see my parents a lot. It's just too risky. But man, I can't wait to get back to that. I feel it was like so fun and also so good for me, for my brain, for my physicality, and like I was sort of kind of ripped for a little bit, and then now I'm just eating garbage every single day. So I can't wait to eat. Actually, I'm hungry right now. Let's wrap this up. It's time
Let's
to
wrap it up, buddy.
get some freaking lunch and then get back to the stress of regular life. But thanks to everybody for joining us. Thanks, David, for being here. It's been a nice hour to forget some of my stressful things. And yeah, we'll see you fucking next week. And thanks for fucking with us. I love you guys. Let's all, be conscious of our actions and try to be better people as best we can. And we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Gunshots on a gun, I don't wanna be. Guilt trip, these drugs are inside of me. This is not where I wanna be. This is not who I wanna be.